of Module 4, JSP Standard Tag Libraries, JSTL. Or dismiss that window here. All right. Your name?
This is.
All right. Yeah. This is Abraham. Okay. Yeah. The first one. Yeah. All right. So I'll check your name after this. All right. So this technology, so here you can see this tag name, right? Tag. Yeah. We know in JSP, we have two environments. The first one, tag environment. And the HTML belongs to this environment. HTML. All right. Second, Java environment. All right. Okay. Yeah. And we, as a Java programmer, we need to work in these two environments. All right. Yeah. And when we develop more and more Java code in JSP, people, get some experience. The experience, in order to reduce the maintenance cost, reduce the maintenance cost. Maintenance. Maintenance cost. All right. Yeah. Yeah. In order to, because after you write the code, you need to, keep modifying it, improve it, right? You need to do a lot of work, later work. Yeah. So that's the maintenance cost. All right. Yeah. So the basic idea, minimize the Java code. That is the typical way to reduce the maintenance cost. In that way, you can improve your productivity. All right, okay. So minimize the Java code. That means minimize part 2. Minimize part 2. Yeah. So you try to work in part 1. All right. Yeah. Tag environment. Yeah. But in the tag environment, we want to do dynamic content, right? Yeah. Because we're not satisfied with the static content. So we like to dynamic content. Yeah. So then we need to have some tools to help us to do dynamic content in the tag environment. Okay, so that's the logic behind these, the technologies we are learning in Module 4. Okay, look at that. EL works in this environment, right? Tag environment, HTML environment, including tag. All right, yeah, HTML, text. We can drop EL in the middle of normal text. Another place inside tag, attribute values, we can use EL expressions. All right, yeah. And here, another thing we can also use in this environment, JSTL. That's we are learning in part D. Yeah. All right, so let me give you the main ideas, main features for this technology, JSTL. All right. Why using JSTL technology? Yeah. Reduce Java code in JSP. Yeah. Improve JSP code by reducing maintenance cost. Yeah. So here, maintenance cost. All right. Yeah. All right. Idea, using the tag environment compatible with HTML environment. Yeah. So here, using this tag environment, yeah. So then Java create some internal support. Yeah. We as developers, we can write our own tags. We can write our own data processing capability using tagaway. Yeah. Yeah. So that's another technology. Yeah. All right. But related to this one. So this one we call a standard tag library. Yeah. And another way we can write our own customized. All right. Another one, customized tag. Okay. Yeah. If you have some special data processing tasks you need to frequently use, then it's a good idea. You can develop your own customized tag libraries. All right. Yeah. Yeah. But in this class, I will not go there. All right. You just know there is such support when you need it. So you study the online document and find some examples. So then you can use this technology easily. All right. Yeah. Next, it supports the control logic and more other functionalities. Here we use the control logic of JSTL. Yeah. The reason is simple. With EL, look at that. With EL, we can only display data. And no more, just display data. Okay. If we like to do a little more things, if else, for loop, if we want to do some control related manipulation, we cannot using EL. Okay, EL is quite limited. It's easy to use, but it is too simple. It cannot do a lot of things. But when we display our data, frequently we need to use control logic, at least if else, for loop, while loop, those things we have to use. All right. So with this JSTL, we can do that in a pretty easy way. Although people, you can say, we can do the, if, else, for loop, while loop using JSP scriptlets, right? Yeah, you can do JSP in the scriptlets. Yeah. In that way, you need to go to the Java environment, right? It's okay. So some programmers may say, I don't mind, go to Java environment. It's fine. Yeah. You have that option to do that. Yeah. But this technology, you stay in the tag environment, but you can still do the relatively simple dynamic content manipulation. Okay, yeah. If complicated work, then you have to use Java code, complicated processing tasks. But most of the time, 90-something% of the times, you do not have the complex data processing tasks, 90% something times. So in that situation, just use simple way. Using the simple way to reduce your maintenance cost. Okay, that's the point. Yeah. All right. History of this technology. Initially, EL was part of JSTL. Okay, yeah. So that history is quite interesting. Initially, we don't have EL. All right. Initially, yeah, there is no term like EL. All right. So at the beginning, we just have the JSTL. All right. And inside JSTL, when people need to display data, they use that, our current EL expression, dollar curly braces, EL expressions. At that time, people did not call that part EL. All right, no name for it. Okay, yeah. But that technology was available inside JSTL. Yeah. So people use that part and I like it a lot. Okay. Very convenient. Yeah. But that at that time, this feature relies on JSTL. If you do not include JSTL libraries, you cannot use this feature. That's the old time. But later, more and more Java programmers, they only need to display some data items, display data items. They do not need to use all the JSTL features, only the data part. Okay, yeah. So then they do not need to include JSTL. Yeah. So then the Java team, they took the EL part out of the JSTL and put it inside the JSP specification. JSP can support EL directly. Yeah. So our current way to use EL, you can see we do not need to import JSTL tag libraries to use EL. We can use EL directly inside our JSP. Okay, independent. Yeah. Yeah, but the history, it came from there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Due to its simplicity and popularity, it became part of the JSP. JSP specification, yeah, describes EL technology. So then it does not rely on JSTL anymore. So you do not need to import JSTL tag libraries. You can use EL directly. All right. So all right. So that's the current way. Yeah. Packages in JSTL libraries. There are these 5 packages. Okay, yeah. The first one, core package. The basic fundamental core package. Basic programming control logic. That's what we use frequently. Core package. 90-something% we use core package. That's enough. All right. Yeah. Then some other packages, if you want to do some special features, then you need to use a few other rarely used, but if you need them, yeah, you can use. Yeah. Formatting. Yeah. So this package, you can use it to do some simple formatting work. Okay, formatting numbers, time, dates. Okay, yeah. SQL package supporting SQL queries. Yeah. And because core package does not support these things. Yeah. So you need to use those specialized packages. Yeah. But there is one thing you should do it in the right way. Yeah. SQL package, using SQL package in JSTL, not recommended. Not recommended. The reason is simple, because when you do SQL, you need to access database, right? Access database at the front end. Not recommended. Okay. Yeah. When you access data, you should do it at the back end, yeah, at the server side, not client side. Here, JSP, you display information, that part is at the client side, right? Yeah. So that's not good. For security reason, you should not access database at the client side. Okay. Although you have the capability, yeah, at the client side, the technology supports database access. Yeah. For example, JavaScript can access database, but not recommended. Highly not recommended. JavaScript, if you access database at the client side, not secure. Yeah. You know, yeah, not a good way. So that's why, although this SQL package can do a lot of SQL queries, but try not to use it. Okay, yeah. Never use it. Yeah. All right. XML package, manipulating XML documents. Okay, yeah. Functions, manipulating strings. Yeah. So based on my experience, other than the core package, I just use this function package a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Because sometimes we need to manipulate strings. Right. Other packages I rarely use that. Yeah. All right. Make it available in your web application. Now, in order to use this technology, we need to get the libraries, JSTL tag library, jar files. Yeah. All right. So we need to put the jar files at the right locations. The locations for class loader. Class loader concept in module 1, I described 3 places for the class loader. Okay, web application class loader. Yeah. Here, let me just review a little bit. The first one, Tomcat. Here, assume this bracket here means your Tomcat installation directory / lib folder. Yeah, the first place you can put your Java library files there, then those libraries will be loaded automatically. All right. The second one refers to your web app. Your web app context root location. Inside that, web-inf-lib, okay, libraries. Yeah, drop there, then load it automatically. The third one, still inside your web app, also in your web-inf, but that folder, usually you put your compiled Java classes. So that folder called classes. All right. These three locations, we call the class loader locations. Yeah. So if you want to make your Java classes, compile the Java classes, or the library jar files available for your web applications, put one of the three places. Then ready for you to load that Java class. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just review here. Yeah. Then I give you two JSTL library files. Okay. They're pretty small. The size of these two files, pretty small, okay? Small sizes, you know? Yeah, so you can see, you know, you do not need to do a lot of things, just some basic things. Okay. Yeah. All right, so that's the, you know, general simple information for JSTL. Next, let us learn basic features, how to use this technology. Okay, I'll show you some examples, then we can use immediately. And in our project number 1, remember, yeah, the project number 1, I try to give you a chance to use this technology, okay? Yeah. Optional, yeah. You're encouraged to use this one as a practice. But if you like to use the old way, JSP scriptlet way, it is fine. Yeah. No problem. Because the old way, you like to do practice, right? Yeah. But this way, usually we feel better than that old way, okay? All right. So in project 1, remember, we have a feature, we need to display a drop-down list, cities drop-down list, and the text rates drop-down list, right? Yeah. Here, that's the place we can use JSTL to display. Okay. Yeah, because we need to use a for loop, right? Yeah, drop-down list. How many items in the drop-down list? You need to use a for loop to display. Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, next. D.2, use JSTL in JSP pages. First, we need to make the libraries available for our JSP. So the first thing you need to do, include a tag library in the page. If the current page, JSP page, you need to use this technology, you need to include it. Just like, you know, Java import. When you need to use a special Java class, you need to import first. Here, we need to include first. Otherwise, not available. If we do not include, it's not available. Okay. Yeah. How to include it? Use the tag lib directive. JSP, we know there are 3 directives, right? Page directive, include directive, and a tag lib directive. Here we use the 3rd one, tag lib directive. Okay, so we can specify a tag library in this way. Look at this line. Okay, this line, tag lib core package. Yeah, here we use the JSTL core package. For other packages, you need to, if you want to use it, you need to do the same, similar thing. Function package, you need to put another line to include that function package. Now here, so you include the core package and use prefix C. Inside JSP, how do you refer the tags in the core package of JSTL? Use this prefix to refer to it. Otherwise, you cannot refer to the tags inside the core package, right? Yeah. So you define that prefix C here. Yeah. After that, then inside your JSP, you can use it. So later, when you need to use tags in this library, you use the prefix to refer to it in this way. C:tag name. Right? The syntax. You need to follow the syntax defined in the tag library. Yeah. We just learned some examples. Yeah. We do not study the whole document. Yeah. We just learn by examples. Yeah. All right. The URI, yeah, look at this URI attribute. What's that? URI, yeah. Usually when you see URI, you may feel it is a location in web, somewhere in the web, right? Yeah. But here the meaning, the URI is used as an internal identification string. Okay, look at that. Internal, it has the regular URL format, but in this place, we use this URL format as the internal identification string, like an ID, okay? Internal ID, yeah. Because if you use this URI, then the JSP container can find the definition of this core package of JSTL somewhere in the class loader. The JSP container needs to use this string to find its location inside the tag libraries. That's the reason. All right. Yeah. Okay. Under this ID, a set of tags are defined following certain specification. The specification, the Java technology, tag, customized tag, library technology, they define the specification. Developers, you need to follow the specification to develop your tag, your own tag libraries. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's the, then you can use the tag expressions in your JSP code. Yeah. So the support is there. All right, so you set up in this way. Here, we're talking about how to set up JSTL technology in your JSP pages. These lines describe how to do the setup. Yeah. All right. Next, now we need to use this technology. First, how to output data in JSTL. Okay, and then the EL way, familiar EL way, you will see. Yeah, but inside JSTL, although we use EL, but we also use some special JSTL tags. Okay, all right. Yeah. Let's look at the example. Use the out tag. So there, when you do output, you use the out tag. Okay. But you need to give the prefix C:out. When you want to output some data value, so this is example, right? A tag here, you need to use tag, all right? So the tag is the C:out tag, okay? The attribute value, how do you provide value? You can see EL expression, right? Yeah. So, you know, original EL used inside JSTL in this way. Yeah. And then later, so the Java team took this feature out of it. Okay, yeah, here, value this EL expression. Then when data is missing, right? Then you show the message in the default attribute. No message if, yeah, because you need to consider in case that message name does not contain any data. That's possible. That's possible. So you like to provide some default message for your users to have some appropriate information in this place. All right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's the basic usage of this tag. Or, yeah, another way to do the same thing. Yeah. So the default message we put as the content of this tag. A pair of C:out tags around this content, but this content, that's the default message. Equivalent way. Default, all right, yeah. Here, when you see this kind of expression, you can compare with our normal EL expression message. Compare with that. What's the difference? When we use the normal EL expression, you don't have a chance to do the default message, right? Yeah. This case, no default, yeah. Or we say the default case is default case, nothing. Empty string, nothing. All right. Yeah. When there is no data in the message, name variable, name the variable, yeah, message, name the variable, then nothing happens. Okay, nothing happens. All right. All right. So that's we need to compare. Yeah. So you will see this kind of difference when you make your decision which way to use. You need to consider this difference. Do you like to show some special default message? If you do not like to show default message, you should use the EL way. Yeah. Actually, most of the time we use EL. Most of the time we do not need to show any special default message, but only when you need to show some default message, you need to use the, C:\R way. Okay, all right. Converting HTML tags to HTML entities. So here, there is another feature. When you display HTML content, then you have something special you need to consider. Because we use many special symbols inside HTML content. Tag-related symbols we use inside HTML content. But when you do that, yes, you need to consider what is the exact meaning you want to display. All right, so here, look at this example. C:\R message escape XML attribute equals true. Escape XML, all right? XML, HTML, we know HTML, lot of part overlap with XML, right? Yeah, HTML. Here, it's called escape XML. Yeah. That means you should not interpret special symbols as your XML content. Or here, our interest is in the HTML content. Yeah. So let me give you an example. For example, look at this symbol. Less than sign, right? Less than sign in HTML, you represent the, opening symbol for a tag, right? Okay. Opening, yeah. Then you put your tag name. All right. So it's a special symbol. Yeah. But escape XML, then do not use its special meaning. Escape it, right? Escape it. That means display this symbol literally. What is the literal way? Literal way, you use the HTML entity for less than sign. What's the HTML entity? HTML entity is defined. You start with the ampersand sign. Okay. Entity use the format less than L, less than T. Okay. Less than, you use LT, semicolon. Yeah. This means less than symbol. HTML entity of less than symbol. Similarly, greater than, all right, ampersand GT, semicolon. That's the HTML entity for the greater than sign, okay? Yeah. So when you show this HTML entity, you will see less than, greater than sign literally, okay? You will see this literally. You will see that greater than sign. Otherwise, if you do not use, you won't see the greater than sign, okay? Yeah. So for example, when you put A, all right, this tag, then A, there is a tag name, okay? Yeah. ABC, for example. When you put this one, when you show this one in your HTML, you won't see this less than ABC greater than. You won't see that, right? Because your web browser interpret it as a tag. This is an unknown tag, right? Unknown tag. Because your web browser cannot recognize this tag. When web browser sees an unknown tag, it just ignore it. Okay? It just ignore it. All right. Now, if you want to display less than ABC greater than, then you need to type this. All right. You need to type HTML entity. So ampersand LT semicolon ABC ampersand GT semicolon. When you type this string, you will see that less than ABC greater than. All right. So that's the difference. Literal. You want to see less than greater than literally. All right. Yeah. For example, another ampersand. We know ampersand is a special symbol in HTML, right? Yeah. Because here you define HTML entity use ampersand. It's a special symbol. But if you want to display ampersand literally, ampersand AMP semicolon. Okay. Yeah. So there are many HTML entities like that. So you can search. You'll find a table. Yeah. Large number of HTML entities. Yeah. Here we are talking about that. Why I spend so much time talking about this HTML entities? We mean those special symbols. If you want to display any of those special symbols, you need to use these ampersand semicolon way. Okay. All right. Next. Yeah. So here we escape. All right. So this one has a special usage. Why people want to escape? Because to avoid cross-site scripting XSS attack. Those hackers, they can, use the special tags. Yeah. So they when they enter the content, they put the special HTML tags. The meaning is quite different. And in your website, if your website does not protect, if your website does not do some special treatment to avoid this, just interpret as the normal HTML content, then your website may get a hacking. Okay. To avoid that, the way, if you put this one, escape XML, then those tags will be displayed literally, right? Think about that, literally. Yeah. The original meaning of those tags won't work because they are escaping. Won't work as the original intention. Think about that, right? Yeah. So that is the importance of this feature. Can avoid that part. All right. Yeah. Equivalent to, yeah. That means if you do not have that part, the default, this is default. Okay. Default without that escape XML true, that is the true case is used. Not the false case. If for the false case, then you just take those tags. You use those tags as given. All right. So you need to consider in case the hackers may like to hack your website. Okay. All right. D.4, loops in JSTL. Now, yeah, the drop-down list, we need to display loops, right? Drop-down list, 2 drop-down lists. Here, let's look how to display data using loops. Yeah. Loop with for each tag, C:4 each tag, for each loop. In Java, for each loop. So we're familiar with that for each loop, right? Here, this is the JSTL version of for each loop. C:4 each. So how to use it? Let's look at this example. Yeah, because we want to display a table. For a table, we have certain number of rows. We need a for loop. Here, let us use for each loop to do it. Under the table tag, we use this line, C:4 each. Okay, 2 attributes. This one first, items. Yeah. we retrieve data from items. The items, multiple items, multiple data items, right? Items, multiple data items. In what format? Multiple data items can only be in one Java object. And here, we need to get our data from one Java object. But that Java object here is a list object. Look at this list name, movie list. Okay, yeah. So it is a Java list object. Okay, yeah. So we know list object. Okay. The whole list is one object, but it contains multiple data items in this list. Okay, that's a list object. All right. So we use EL. That list should be available under this name, movie list name, for that list object. Okay. It is prepared somewhere. All right. Yeah. So here you do not see where this data is prepared. Yeah. You can imagine in some servlet, in some back-end server side, back-end servlet. It is prepared there. Yeah. Just like in our project one, we need to prepare our data in a servlet, right? After we prepare it, and then we store that data in the request scope, for example, then here we can access, we can use it. Yeah. All right, so items, so you get items. Then you need to do iteration. Every time when you do iteration, you use this variable, movie, refer to individual item. VAR equals that movie, so use this movie name, refer to the individual item in each iteration. Okay, yeah, so that's the meaning. All right, so now each iteration, dollar curly braces movie, so you retrieve one item in the movie list. So here, this is one item in the movie list. Okay, yeah, in the movie list. Okay, all right. Then that's the way you use it. Get used to this expression. Get used to it. Okay, yeah. You need to have a list object. Actually, not necessary list. Later, we will call it. There are several names for it. Collection name, container name. Yeah, there are a few names for this kind of object. Later, we will discuss this concept another time. Okay, yeah. But here, we use a list object. Later, you can call collection object. Collection. This Java object is a collection of objects. People, another name for it, container, because you can drop data into this container. So two different names for this kind of objects. Yeah. All right, yeah. So here, so what's that? Yeah, here we refer to that collection object or an array object. Yeah, so collection, Java collection. Okay, yeah. Why collection? Because in Java, there is a capital collection interface. Capital collection interface. And these objects all implement that capital collection interface. So then we call collection object. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, the super interface, we know super interface, sub interface. This capital collection, that's the super interface for all these collection type objects. Okay, yeah. All right, So here, what kind of object can you place in these, items place? Yeah. The tag repeats the body of the tag for each element in the collection. And yeah, here, collection means either array here in this special place, array we treat as a collection object. So array or this capital collection, that interface. Then map is another special container type Java class. You can drop data items into map object, container type. But map, we know the structure is key value pair structure. Or comma delimited string. Comma delimited string, you can also treat it as a collection, a list of objects. For example, so you have a string, okay, red, comma, white, comma, and a blue, comma, all right? So if the value is this string, you can use it here. And when you do iteration, the first time it takes the red value. Second time it takes the white value. The third time it takes the blue value, and so on. All right? So that can also be treated as the special location collection type data. Okay? Array, definitely array included. This type. Yeah. All right, so that's the usage loop. Next, nested loops. Yeah. Sometimes we need to nest it. When you display a table, we know table is a 2D structure, right? Rows, columns, 2D structure. So you should use nested loops. 2 nested loops, still for each nested. This time, outer for each loop. You have 2 inner for each loop and outer for each loop. You use the similar syntax. Okay, items, yeah, outer movies. All right, yeah. So then the variable list element. Yeah. Each movie, then you have information stored in list element. Okay, yeah. Then items, you refer to that list element. Yeah. It's also a list. Okay, yeah. That variable itself is also a list object. Okay, so you refer to that. Then each one movie. So in this case, then when you display it in this way, you display, yeah, here, yeah, here, because TV, yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, here it looks like, because this represent a row, one row. Yeah. So one movie you put in one row. Yeah. Anyway, and actually I like to display it in rows and columns, right? Rows and columns. Yeah. How to do rows and columns? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here, yeah, I do not rewrite it. Yeah, but actually, yeah, the common way to use rows and columns. Rows and columns. Okay. Yeah. outer for each loop control the rows. Inner control the columns. That's the usual way. Yeah, here I'm talking about the usual way. Here it looks pretty strange. Because both outer, inner, both control rows. Both control rows. It looks a little strange. Yeah. Not quite normal. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but when we use, we will use the 2D way, not 1D way. Rows, columns, that's 2D way. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah. So here the data. So here the data. Movie 1, movie 2. Okay. Movie 1, movie 2. Yeah. The string. Yeah. Movie 1, string array 1. Movie 2, string array 2. Then we put these two string arrays in that movies list. How about that? How about that? Okay. Yeah. So in that way, so you display that. Yeah. Yeah. Let me create an example. Yeah. Let me show you a concrete example. Yeah. For the code here. Yeah. So then we can understand a little better. Yeah. All right. All right. So D.5 control logic in JSTL. Now we need to do if statement. Yeah. Control logic. Okay. All right. For conditional processing, single if. So here the if case is a little different from our usual if case. Why? Because if case, you can only do single condition, single condition if case. So what's that? Yeah. There is no else if else part of this tag. That's the special thing here. All right. But if you want to do else if, you need to use another tag, not this one. All right. This is a single if tag. Yeah. Example, you look at that. C:\if test attribute, you test the condition. Okay. Yeah. If that number equals 1, yeah. The number equals 1, you can see that this is the EL way to check if the value equals 1. In this way, look at that. The comparison inside curly braces. All right. Yeah. That's it. That's for the one condition check. All right. The second if, that's another if condition check, but when you check the second if condition, yeah, you do not use it combined with the first one. All right. Yeah. So these two, they are used as the independent if statements, not correlated, independent. All right. Yeah. But if you use that if else type, you need to use a different tag. Yeah. Here, the choose tag, you can use if else, else if. All right. Yeah. Those things. Multiple if case. This time. Choose tag, not if tag. Right. Yeah. So how to do C:choose? On inside that tag, you can do multiple conditions. For each condition, C:\when for each condition. Okay, you can see C:\when test, not C:\if. That's the main difference. So now condition 1, condition 2, just like else if. Okay, else if case. Condition 2, condition 3. The last one, otherwise, just corresponds our usual else part. Okay, yeah. If, else, if, else. Let it this way. Yeah. The logic is easy. Yeah. You only need to use the right tags. The logic part, pretty easy. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then the last one, set values and remove attributes. Yeah. So other than control logic, you can do a little more. So this part, another feature you can use in JSTL, set of values. Set a value in an attribute. How to set? Here, look at the way. C:set, variable name, message, scope, session, the value, test the message. Look at this way. This JSTL way, yeah, you can set some special value under this attribute. Yeah, here, yeah, under this attribute, message attribute, and the session scope. Yeah, in this way, you can do that. Although you can, yeah, in our JavaScript, we can set attribute data, right? So here in the tag environment, you can also set attribute values. Yeah. All right. Set a value in a Java bean. Yeah, you can set value in a Java bean. C:set, target. You use EL to refer to your Java bean user. Suppose user is the reference of your Java bean object. Okay, all right. Then property, the property name, first name, and the value. Yeah. So you set in this way. Java bean, okay, properties. You can use this way to C:set. Yeah. So also pretty convenient. Yeah. All right. Target, but here you use target for that Java bean object reference. Yeah. All right. Remove an attribute. Now you want some, yeah. If you do not use, you want to release memory resource. So you remove attribute, yeah, to save some resource. Yeah. Then you can do it. C:remove, yeah, the variable name and in the scope session. Okay, you remove it. All right, pretty straightforward. Yeah. All right, redirect to another page. You can also do redirect. Okay, you know the meaning of redirect. So we spend a lot of time learning redirect and forward concepts. Here, we talk about redirect. When you do redirect, under the if condition, we use the C:redirect URL to redirect the request to another page, JSP page. All right. So here, this feature related to our project 1, our welcome page, we need to redirect to the servlet. Yeah. So let's recall our project 1. Okay. Project 1, our welcome page. Welcome JSP, we need to redirect to a servlet for data retrieval. Right? Yeah. So redirect, this is one of the options, yeah, but there is a simpler way. All right, simpler way, we just use JSP way directly, one line. We can do the redirect. For example, here I give you the example. Scriptlet, yeah, we need to write a scriptlet. Okay, redirect, you use response implicit object, right? response dot redirect method send redirect. Remember, send redirect method. Then double quotes the URL inside it. So let me call the servlet. Servlet, you need to have a URL pattern, right? Yeah. For example, the prepare servlet, because we need to prepare data here. Okay. Yeah. So this one line, put it in the welcome page, then you will call this prepare servlet. Then you need to write the servlet code. Okay. So that's the first welcome page. How to do that? The welcome page. This one line. Yeah. And here, this C::, redirect, it's an option. But if you use this option, you need to include JSTL library, tag library, right? Then you put it in the first line. Remember that core prefix, that first line, tag lib directive. After that, then you put this line, all right? Then put this line, okay? Yeah. But URL, it's not the JSP URL, you put a servlet URL, prepare URL. So another way, you can also do the same. But, JSP way is an easier way than this JSTL way. All right, yeah, so you can play around. All right, so let me stop here and we finish our module 4. And you can expect our quiz number 4 for this module 4. All right, so that's it. Yeah.